Woo! Hey everyone! Welcome to the Post Show! I'm Xio.
And I am Melanie. And today we're diving into something very special, very
Yes.
close to the heart. We are very excited about this episode. Today we are in June, the month of June. And for those that didn't know, the month of June, it's Men's
Mental Health Month.
So we are excited because today we are speaking about
Men.
So
Stay tuned, men. Don't leave. Stay right there.
don't stop the video. Keep watching.
Xio Melanie, breaking it down with grace, healing hearts, lifting souls in this sacred space. From faith to the mind, they will guide you through. God's love is the answer, and the love is true. Now hit that like, don't let it slip by. Subscribe to the channel, let's reach for the sky. Drop a comment, let us know what you feel. Join the fam at the pause, we're keeping it real.
As Melanie said, today we are discussing men. I am truly, everyone knows this, I am an advocate for men. I have always been an advocate for men. As I was growing up, I grew up with a lot of male best friends. But they were all my cousins. And there were like 5 of them, 5 guy cousins that I was always with. And I witnessed and experienced many moments with them. So I feel like I have a compassionate understanding towards them, that I could understand them a little bit because I was in their midst. I believe men have a major role in this world, and sometimes the pressure can be a little too much for them.
Very overwhelming.
Especially for the men in the Latino community, because as we know from a young age, our fathers taught our boys, our brothers, our cousins that showing emotion is what?
Not good.
It's not good. It's a weakness. So it's really hard for men to express their feelings to women. Did you hear what I said? It's really hard for men to express their feelings to women. So if from a young age they were already programmed not to show feelings, and then when they start dating and they meet someone and they don't get no counseling,
it's hard.
You don't get no premarital counseling. So how do we expect us women to help a man?
Excuse me.
We can't.
Yeah.
We can't. But the Bible does say that we shouldn't get frustrated with our men. The Bible says that we should be wise, and that says it in Proverbs 14:1. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hand. This can go either way, Melanie. We can either get annoyed by our men when they don't speak about their feelings, because we hear this a lot when we have women chats, when we have women talk. We say, but he doesn't talk. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't tell me what he feels. It can either go that way, that we get annoyed with them, or we can be wise, virtuous. Why? Well, the Bible also says in Proverbs 12:14, a virtuous wife is a crown to her husband. Did you hear the key word there?
Crown.
Crown.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we are the crown, what does that mean for us? Where's the crown placed? On top of the head. Just as a crown, and I'm going to read this. Just as a crown completes a king's attire and represents his authority, a wife is meant to complement her husband and bring strength to him. A crown is a biblical context of often a symbol of honor, victory, and glory. To be crowned of her husband means that a wife brings dignity, respect, and honor to her husband's life. Not gossip, not problems, not bringing him down. She is a source of pride and joy for him, much like a king crown will be a symbol for his sovereignty and victory. In this sense, the wife uplifts her husband's status and gives him a sense of honor before the world. Her virtue, wisdom, and character elevates him, making him appear noble in the eyes of others.
Wow.
Do you want to add something before I continue?
No, I think I just think that that's definitely like such a shift in how women really see it. Because like you said, it's very common for women to just feel annoyed. Not in a bad way, because obviously we want our husband and our partner to express himself.
Yeah.
But in a mind aspect of it, like in a psychological aspect of it, it's very hard. It's very hard if you are not taught that, right? So for women, it's very easy from the very beginning. It's okay for us to cry. It's okay for us to go to our fathers and lean on his shoulder and express what we're feeling, or go to our mother and really share what we're going through. But men are not allowed to do that, right? Most men are not allowed to do that. And so if they're not allowed to do that, they don't grow up with that teaching, then they have never been taught that. And so they will never do it.
Yeah.
Right? We act upon on what has been taught to us.
Mm-hmm.
And if it hasn't been taught to them, then it's very hard. So I think this is just a beautiful way to see it, because like you said, if we are meant to be that virtuous woman that uplifts our husband, then we have to learn how we can help them express their feelings.
I love that you said that, because it's a partnership.
Mm-hmm. Support.
Support to balance each other out. And that's what we're called to do to our husband. It's support them. It's be there for them. It's understanding, be the wise woman that the Lord is asking us to do, and not give up on them, because men do go through a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of silent battles that they don't speak about. And sometimes, even though, okay, they bring it into the relationship in a way, one way or another, they bring it.
Yeah.
It's very silent, but they bring it into the relationship. But this is why God calls us a wise woman. This is why we are their crown. And it's always going into God's presence. Okay, my husband is not talking. He's not saying anything. He's not showing any emotion. God, what do I do? How do I? Not that you can fix him, but what can I do to be partners with him, to help him in this situation?
Yeah.
So, especially in the Spanish community, I don't know anybody else, but in the Spanish culture, men are very
they're just very close. They're very reserved. They're very reserved, because that's what they've been taught to do from the very beginning. So,
well, they feel like that's their way of being strong.
Yeah. They see emotions as like it's only
a feminine character. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Emotions was given to every single human being, including men and women, not just women. So emotions are meant to be felt. Emotions are meant to be expressed, but in the correct way, right? So I think that's also very important, because women know how to express their emotions, but we don't do it the correct way all the time.
Yeah.
So men don't.
They just don't do it.
They don't express it at all.
They just stay very quiet, and even amongst the friendships.
Yeah, no, they talk about everything else in the world except their emotions.
Yeah. And we can go into another conversation when it comes to that, but we want to keep it a very simple today. And I just want to encourage women that sometimes men just need an extra encouragement, and to be a little patient with them if you haven't. So today, what we want to do is we have a roulette of questions of what I found is questions that men want to be asked, but
don't say it.
But they don't say it.
Right.
And when I went through this, I'm like, wow, these are like simple questions, right? But still, it's questions that we should be asking. And men, if you agree, please, like when you're watching this video, go like that to your wife. Like, ask me that question, okay?
Or just comment below and, answer the question for us.
So we have a spinner here. So we're going to spin it. And here it goes.
Okay. How can I show you I appreciate you? That one is such a deep felt like question because I think that sometimes women can be very selfish. And some of these questions, and this is one of them, I think women expect to be asked to them only,
Mm.
right? Like, show me you love me.
Yeah.
Like, give me attention
Yeah.
type of,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
type of attitude, type of behavior. But what about the men? Like, what if they want to be appreciated? What if they want to be shown affection or like given some sort of attention? Is it going to be different than how women perceive it to be? Yeah, of course. You know, how women like their attention might be different than how men like it,
Yeah.
right? Maybe women are more affectionate, maybe men is different, right? But I think it's very important that we also ask our men, like, hey, what can I do today that will make you feel appreciated?
Yeah.
Like maybe I haven't shown you that I appreciate you. I appreciate that you are such a hardworking man, that you that you look out for this house, that you look out for our home, for our kids,
Yeah.
right? In a very unique way. What can I do to show that I appreciate you? Have we shown our men that we appreciate them?
Yeah, and that we don't wait for a special occasion
Yes.
to show that we appreciate them.
It can be any day.
Yeah.
The same way we expect that as women.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should be able to do that for them too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you said it all right there. I don't need to add to that.
All right.
Just
next.
appreciate them.
Yes.
Appreciation goes a long way. And acknowledgement. Hey, those pants look nice on you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
smell good today.
What is that perfume? Or
Simple.
cologne. Sorry, not perfume, cologne. Oh, what would your
Ideal partnership look like?
Ooh. I think these are like questions that you could ask them when you're on a date.
Well, even when you're
No,
married.
even when you're married,
Like when
but I
you're
think,
married
like,
for a long time,
yeah.
you don't ask these questions.
Because you didn't ask them when you probably when you
well,
started dating.
even if you do ask them, like you should have like a marriage maintenance day or
think your
anniversary.
views change over time too. Like
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
what you
you're
thought
right.
at the beginning when you were dating is very different than what you think now, like 20
Yeah.
years later. Yeah, like your views can change. Like
Uh-huh.
what you felt at the beginning, maybe what you wanted in a partnership what you thought you wanted in a partnership at the beginning of the relationship changes. Like after 20 years, you're probably like, I want something completely different. You
Well,
know
yeah,
what I
you
mean?
grow, your character
Yeah,
grows,
you
what you believe
change.
in grows.
Everything
So
changes.
I think that there should be a moment when in a marriage that you should sit down again and rekindle this.
Right.
And say,
ask these
what
questions.
what does your ideal partnership look like right now?
Mhm.
Not before. What does it look like right now?
Yeah.
And I think it'll help the vision of the marriage and to understand each other of where you're
Yes.
both at right now. Because if you met when you were teenagers and now you're in your 30s, it's not going to work the same way. And if
No.
you never ask the question, like, what does the relationship look like to you now? You're
Right.
still basing your relationship off as you were
Right.
teenagers.
And assumptions of what you think.
No.
But it's good to kind of set these like standards, like, hey, like, this is what I believe now. This is
Yeah.
what I would like for
Yeah.
for our partnership to look like.
Yeah.
And you kind of set those expectations down to the table, and now you align them together. Not only what you think as a woman, but what he would like, right?
Yeah, his vision
Right.
on this. I don't, I'm thinking about this now. Do we ever ask the men what their vision?
No, we don't ask them too many things. Because like I said at the beginning, I think sometimes we can be very selfish. Sometimes it's all about the woman, woman, woman. Or what about what we want? What we want the relationship to look like.
So does that add to their silence?
Probably.
Because like,
They're
well,
I don't even want to say anything.
like you're driving.
Are you gonna get
this.
mad about what?
You're the one leading this, so I'm just gonna go along with the flow
Just
of what you think is
follow
right. Yeah,
what
because
you
they
think.
just settle.
Yeah.
They settle because sometimes women can be a little too emotional
Yes.
if we don't get things done our way,
And they just try to prevent an argument or a whole chaos
yeah,
over something so simple.
yeah,
Because these things, like, they're very important questions, but they're simple to ask.
yeah.
Like, it's such a simple conversation to have. But
Yeah, I think
we
you
just
should
don't
just
have them.
Yeah, you should look at your husband right now, or the husband look at the wife.
Or it could be your boyfriend if you're dating still.
Yeah. What is your ideal partnership right now? What does it look like?
Yeah.
What doesn't work anymore for us? What used to work and doesn't work right now?
Yeah. Or if you're single and you're watching this, you should know the answers to these questions too.
Yeah.
Because then it helps prepare you for once you are ready to find that person.
Yeah.
You should have answers to these questions that will also allow you to work on yourself so that when you find that person, it aligns and you know what to say. You know what you're looking for because you have thought about it yourself.
And also, when there's no communication between couples, there's an expectation that each one asks of each other, but you're not really saying it.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's when you get in trouble in a relationship, because I'm expecting something, you're expecting something, but none of us are talking about it. So this is a good question to ask, so you both don't assume
And
that
just answer.
we're okay here. No. After a certain, I think after 5 years, there should be a sit down
Yeah.
and evaluate your relationship. Let's sit and talk about it. Let's see if we're happy where we're at. The
Right.
things that we could change.
Yeah. What we like, what we don't like.
Yes?
Yes.
Can we move on?
Yes. Go. Yep.
Is there something I done recently that has made you feel hurt or misunderstood?
Wow.
Can
That's a deep one.
you be honest about that and ask?
We have to be. See, the thing with these questions is that if we're deciding that we want to open up to our men and ask these questions, we have to be willing to sit down and take every answer that we get and not be how do you say what's the word when you get defensive?
Defensive.
Yes, not get defensive over the answers that he gives you, because women do that.
Yeah.
The men say something and they're like, no, that's not true. No, I never did that. Why did you take it that way? That's not the way that I said it, or that's not the way that I did it. Those are defensive behaviors. You're getting defensive. When in reality, all you really have to do is listen to what he's saying, listen to his explanation, take it, and take it with you and change whatever he told you that hurt him. Or talk about it.
Okay.
Or you can also express your point of view, but not in a defensive way, right? Like you can say, oh, like, hey, I didn't mean it that way. Like the way that I meant it was this way. And then it becomes a conversation. But when you get defensive, like you give that like authority, like I'm the one in charge here, then that's when the men like, okay, we'll just leave it like that. We won't talk about it anymore.
Okay. If a woman asks a man, is there something I've done recently that made you feel hurt or misunderstood? And he answers back, and you answer in a way that you're defensive, then that means there's no trust there. You don't trust what he's saying to you. Then that is a root of something that happened between you two, that now you don't trust each other when you say things. So then that's another issue that comes about. Because if you can't stay quiet and let him say what he needs to say, and all you want to do is lash out, then there's a problem right there. There's a root that goes way back.
Yeah, that needs to be fixed.
That needs to be fixed and needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because that question is a question of self-reflection.
Yeah.
A question that requires honest communication. A question that requires maturity.
Yes.
That you can't hear what he has to say, even if he says it maliciously and with the intention to hurt you, because it can happen.
Right.
But when you have wisdom as a woman, you will be able to handle that conversation to bring it back to self-reflection for both of you. Not just him trying to hurt you, not just you wanting to be hurt or be a victim.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
You bring it to a point where it's a self-reflection for both of them. But why are you saying that about me? Why are you trying to hurt me? So there has to be maturity. There has to be maturity in couples when you have these questions
These
towards each other,
conversations.
and that you can talk. It has to be honest. It has to be open, no matter how big and small it is. Like let him say what he needs to say.
Or let him take it out. Like let him express.
Let him purge.
Because that's the point.
Yeah.
Right? The point that we have these conversations, sometimes we want to have these conversations with men and then we cut them off.
Yeah. And then they stay silent and don't talk no more.
And then in their mind, I'm sure they're probably thinking like, this is exactly why I don't have this.
Yeah.
Because we cut them off. We don't let them finish. We want to take the lead. We just don't listen.
We listen to answer. We listen to answer. We do not listen to hear exactly where they're coming from and why they are saying that.
And you have to be understanding.
Patient,
understanding. Just listen to what they are saying.
Yeah.
The same way you expect them to listen to you is the same way they expect the same.
Yeah.
And with that comes, like you said, maturity. It comes with, okay, I'm going to listen. And the whole point of that, I think the whole point of this question is not only for it to be mentioned what was done that made them feel hurt or misunderstood, but that there comes a solution.
Yeah.
Like what can, from that comes an apology, right? Woman can apologize, not only the men.
Yeah.
Apologize. And from there, comes forgiveness. From there comes, okay, making sure that doesn't happen again, or what can I do to fix that, So it's not only a level of mentioning what was wrong, but also like, okay, what's the solution with this? So self-reflection. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Question number 10. That one's like, that one's good. Because I feel like it's not very like emotional. It's not such an emotional question. It's more of like, hey, like we want to talk about your future, like
your purpose,
your future. What is it that you want to leave behind? I think this question is probably like never asked.
Well, okay, when you ask this question,
or men just say, I don't know.
You're putting them on the spot.
Yeah.
That you figure out from there if they think future or they just think present.
Right. Yeah. And it gets them thinking too.
Yeah, it does.
And I think that's good too, because as women, we have to challenge our men as well. Like we can't move forward and like see that our men are stuck where they are and us keep moving forward. Like, no, like this is like we said earlier, this is a partnership. Like when it comes to marriage or even when you're dating, if you're dating, that means that you're thinking forward, right? A marriage. So in a marriage, it's a partnership. And you can't in a partnership, you can't move forward and your partner stays here and you're okay with that.
Yeah.
So these type of questions allows them to feel challenged. And these questions are good to not only when you're having these conversations, but keep having them, like keep asking them like, hey, and if they tell you something, they actually like know what kind of legacy or what they want, then you have to hold them accountable to that.
Support.
Like, hey, support that, challenge them. Like, okay, you said this is what we're going to do. And I will hold you accountable to that. The same way you would do for your sisters and your friends is the same way you have to do to your husband.
Yeah.
More than anybody else. They have to feel that support from you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that way you know that you're both driving to a future together with purpose, and not that you're living every single day the same way and then there's nothing building.
Yes.
A partnership is to create something. And then when we're Christian, is even to create such a legacy in God's kingdom together, not by yourself. So again, you can ask the question, well, what legacy do you want to leave behind secularly, and what legacy do you want to leave behind kingdom-wise?
Yeah.
So
it could be both.
It has to be both. It has to be both. He's a provider, and then in kingdom-wise, you just keep growing from glory to glory.
Amen.
So, Yeah, ask the question. Let him answer, and you see if he's thinking future, or if he's not thinking future, then encourage him.
Right.
Figure out what it is that he likes to do. What did he like to do? What does he want to try? What is he afraid of?
Mm.
You know, what is afraid to try? And if he's this is a little, I don't know if it's controversial or not. I don't know. You tell me. If he's a man that, you know, wants to dabble in different things, is that acceptable? Do you let him? Or do you think it's a waste of time and he needs to figure out what he needs, like right now?
Well, I think it just depends where you guys are at.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, say.
Like your age.
Okay,
that's
very
one
good.
thing, right? Where you guys are at, like as a partner, like as a marriage. Do you guys have kids? Do you guys are you guys already moved in together? Like, where are you as in a relationship wise? So I think all of that plays a factor in, like, okay, if we already have kids, if we already have a home, if we're already trying to, like, you know, be as stable as we can, and you're at an age where it's like, hey, mister, we're not getting any younger, like, then I don't think you have time right now to be like stepping into everything. Maybe 2-3 things, but not now. If we just started, we just, you know, we're so young. We have like, you know, we don't have any kids. We don't have any responsibilities yet. Then yeah, why not? Try it. Do your thing, you know, because sometimes you don't know, and that's okay. Sometimes you've never thought of this before, that now that it's brought to your attention, you're like, whoa, I need to figure this out. But how can I figure this out if I don't know? How do you figure that out? By trying new things, by, you know, dabbing into different things. So yeah, I think it just depends
on the age and the circumstance and the family. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. That's acceptable answer. I don't know what you guys think. What do you women think when your husband is undecisive and doesn't know what he wants to do?
But also think, right? If you would want to tap into a lot of things, like, what would you want him to let you
support you?
To support you? Because if you would want that, then also support him.
Yeah. But again, you're right. It depends on where you're at in life and children and stuff like that. I think that there's room to experiment, like on one thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because you do have a family.
Yes.
You do have to bring that income in.
Yes.
You know, so being so free to do this and do that and do that.
Can't.
Yeah. You have to be stable.
Yeah.
You have to be stable and be smart about your time as well.
Yes.
And try it. And if it doesn't work out, because maybe you didn't like it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Then we move on to
the next.
To something else. So you don't get old and regret that you didn't try it, you know?